Stand it up like your father. Get away from it.
I do, but I promise you, if I ever happen to see what I'll be called stuff
Coffee.
on you again, I will be sure to bring it to your attention.
Did everyone get a handout? Anyone need a handout?
You know what, wave hand out.
Handout.
Hey, Jack.
Can I get an extra one? There you go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention, please. So we got a treat here. We're going to learn a little bit about SEO and internet marketing kinds of stuff. So your attention, please. Feel free to get your coffee and do it, whatever you need. Stand in the back if you need to do that. Your camera's ready back there. What you wanted to do?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to give these guys 45 minutes, and then they'll be done. So you're on.
Just so you guys know up front, we're going to be switching. There's only one mic here, so when we are switching, it doesn't mean we're done. I have the mic, he's going to go to him, and then probably before we wrap up, back to me again. Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Davis. This is Cody Young. And today we're going to give you an insightful, powerful, and information-packed presentation on digital marketing for business owners, for you, your opportunity on the web, and what you may have been missing up until now. Before we dive right into some powerful content, I want to give you a quick story right off the bat. I worked in digital marketing in Europe 5 years ago, all the way out in Budapest, Hungary. That's where I first got into this industry. And then after that, I came to the States, and I had a couple jobs that weren't really right for me. In fact, they were pretty bad for me. But after that, after finishing grad school down in Hopkins, I came back up to Connecticut, and I was blessed enough to find a car partners where I met Cody Young here. Now, here's the amazing part. You heard in my intro that I'm a professional speaker, author, consultant, but I'm very good about it. If someone is paying me to do something, I'm going to put my full attention to that. And then in my own time, weekends, evenings, I'm going to grow my writing and speaking business. All of a sudden, I looked up after 2 years of learning, growing, talking with Cody, watching every webinar there is, and I realized I'm an expert. We're the experts. And it was very powerful because I initially didn't plan to speak on this, but it was something that I learned so much about that it came to a point where we were sharing this knowledge with many hundreds upon thousands of people. A couple months ago, Cody and I were in New York City speaking at an internationally renowned digital marketing conference to 100 multi-million-dollar business owners each. There's about $100 million of capital in the room. And at the end of the presentation, dozens came up to us and said, we've never had anyone explain digital marketing in that regard. And we were both so excited about it because they said, we've heard dozens of presentations, but you guys turned the light bulb on. How do we do that? He's the lead web designer. Not only does he have a team working for him, but he consults with businesses on digital marketing, digital strategy, web design. In addition to me being the lead digital analyst for our card partners, I'm a consultant and a professional speaker in search engine optimization and pay-per-click. We stay on top of all the updates. We're a Google partner. Card Partners has become literally a Google partner. That's only the rare, elite, top agencies that we earn. We are both certified in Google Analytics. We got certified together in Google Analytics. He's a top, leading, world-renowned web designer with dozens of outstanding clients. I'm certified in Google AdWords. I'm also certified in YouTube advertising. And it's important to know that this is cutting-edge insights we're giving you. I wanted to tell you that up front, because I know if I were sitting here right now, I would only want to be listening to the expert. And We know of all the updates like Google Hummingbird and Google Panda and Google Penguin, and you don't need to worry about these names, we're on top of it. We've listened to not dozens, hundreds of webinars. Lauren Baker of Search Engine Journal, SEM Rush, Raven Tools, Majestic SEO. We're on top of all of these updates. And I normally don't always open a presentation with this, but I wanted to make it crystal clear off the bat that this isn't just strategy, this isn't just design, that's part of it. But this is expertise, it's insight, and it's cutting edge information that's going to get you from where you are to where you want to be. What are we going to talk about here today? Well, there are two main goals of today's presentation. Understanding the vital importance of digital marketing. It's very easy to not understand. If I didn't work in the industry, I wouldn't have understood it. If I didn't spend tons of conversations with Cody, staying late at work, I'm late for my Skype sessions with Rick Wood because I'm talking to Cody. And the reason for that is because we're dialoguing about how we can get our clients to the next level. So not only do we apply this to our own businesses, but we've seen results for many hundreds of our clients across not only the United States, but the world. We want to give you some of that knowledge. And then learn how to effectively choose a consultant or someone to work with if you don't have the time to do it yourself. You may not have the time, you may not even have the want, you may have expertise in another area and you may want someone else to do it. So yes, we're going to give you tons of knowledge and information here and very practical to you. We're going to dive right in here in a second, but it's also so you can weed out people that you may be working with. You don't want someone to dupe you, you don't want someone to try and trick you, and you don't want someone who says, oh, we know about digital strategy, and they come in and they don't do anything, which we actually find with our clients all the time. So remember this off the bat, with the two main themes in mind. It's about the small daily efforts. Just like with growing your business, there's not a one quick fix. We get multi-million dollar doctors on the phone all the time, and they literally say, what amount do you want us to pay you? We want a quick fix. We want you to solve it right now. And we have to walk them through. It's not. There's something called black hat search engine optimization where you can try to trick Google. But I mentioned all those updates that Google has, like Penguin and Panda and Hummingbird, and we're a Google partner, we're in Google communities. Don't ever try to trick Google. Because through Google, our clients learn that the hard way. You can actually check to see if you have a black mark against you in Google Webmaster Tools. I'm going to mention that at the very end of the presentation. It's going to all tie nicely together. But our clients want that quick fix. It's not. It's the daily efforts, it's the strategies, the insights that we've picked up from what we're about to share with you here today. Now, this is not on your spreadsheet, so I would suggest taking notes. But I want to ask you a question very quickly. And while you're soaking in some of this, in one sentence, just very quickly, what does digital marketing mean to you?
Online. Confusion.
You just need to move over so we can see.
Oh, so Cody, can you move to the right a little bit so that you can see the yeah, what, in one sentence, what does digital marketing mean to you?
Any communication in electrical format.
Yes, yes. Any other thoughts?
Any type of social media.
Yes, we're both going to touch on that. Any other thoughts?
Leveraging, a huge leveraging.
Yes, leveraging your
Confusion
time.
and overwhelm.
Yeah, we'll hopefully help reduce a little bit of that. Yes. Any other thoughts?
Branding.
Branding, yes, yes, definitely. That consistency, perfect. This is great. Any other thoughts before we dive in here?
Everything today.
Yes, that's real. We're both going to talk about that. That's really where the world is here today. So that is a very, very good insight. Now, very quickly, and we're going right into this. You hear a speaker say, "Put away your phones." I want you to take out your cell phone and just a quick 60-second exercise. Google your first name and last name and the name of your business, or whatever online name you have most prominent. First name, last name, and the name of your business in Google. I'll give you about 40 seconds to do that.
You have to go to Google first. Like
Yeah,
you
go
said.
to Google. Or
if you wanna go to Wi-Fi to save yourself some data, so the password is Windsor and a digit 1.
My phone isn't smart enough to do that.
Okay, no problem. We'll explain it to you anyway. So you're pulling it up, and while you're pulling it up, I want you to think of something. And this is not total results I'm going to ask you for. Like if I were to put in my brand name, Speaker Jeff Davis, there's going to be a bunch of organic results. I'm not talking about total results in Google. I want you to think in your mind, and don't cheat, get a number and stick there, but how many different ways do you think you can appear on Google's page 1? So it doesn't mean that you're necessarily seeing all those ways right now, but your knowledge, or maybe someone told you, or you could even just guess in your mind how many different ways, not just standard organic listing, but how many different ways do you think you can appear on Google's page 1?
A dozen.
Yeah, well I asked you that because when I started here, I thought, even when I was in digital marketing, I thought it was 1, 2, maybe 3 maximum. There's actually 6 different ways to appear on Google's page 1. And this is going to lead us perfectly into the search engine optimization tactics. But it's very easy to look at it and you just see the organic results. You might see paid, but we're going to give you the 6 full ways that you can actually appear on Google page 1 and then tie that into some of the tactics we're going to share. So organic search. Here's a sample search I did the other night while I was preparing the PowerPoint, professional speaker. And you can see there's different results that come up, and these are just standard organic results. That's one. That's one way. You all know that. You search in Google, it comes up, the organic results. 2, paid. There are paid results, and this is something I became certified in. I get my clients, and of course both of our clients, to the top of Google through paid. This is very powerful. I actually had one speaker named Grant Baldwin. He's a multi-million-dollar youth speaker, and I was communicating with him, and he was saying paid results helped him get gigs, get him opportunities and engagements. Here you can see it's with the ad next to it. So it's not Scott Bakovich and the top rated, those are organic, but the ones with the ad, and then here are the side. And the ad positions are 1, Kathy Buckley. I don't even know who that is, but good for her for being to the top. Kathy Buckley's position 1, that's the top. Then Richie Conter-Tetsi is 2, and then Tom Thielen is 3, and these are at position 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's what we tell all of our clients. I've been certified in this. I've talked with Google about this over the last 2 years and in my 5 years in the industry. You never want to be here, ever. So you want to work with a consultant who can get you to the top. There are a lot of strategies in here, and this is going to give you that broad view of digital strategy while we give you some tactics. So I don't have time to go into the 80 different daily AdWords optimization techniques I use, but I can give you the quick 3-sentence answer that it's enticing ad text, it's a call to action, there are bid strategies you can do in the shared library, you can actually use top of page strategies to make sure you're beating out your competitors, you can create specific ad groups for the particular kind of keywords you want to show for. So it's not like you're just going to show for any old keyword, you can pick a specific type of keyword and you can match it. You can put in an exact match type, youth motivational speaker, I only want to show for that term. There's also such a thing as negatives. Negatives in AdWords mean those are keywords you don't want to show for. So a youth motivational speaker may not want to show for kitchen dining or some other kind of search that comes up that has nothing to do with what they're doing. You can put that as negatives. Now that's only the tip of the iceberg. There are advanced bid strategies, and there are all kinds of techniques that we do for our clients on a daily basis, but we have always gotten our clients the top 1 or 2. And that's because the click-through rate on those are much higher. Now what is industry standard click-through rate? 1%. 1% across the United States of America for paid ads, the click-through rate is 1%. But, and that may initially sound small, but the return on investment can be huge. Some of the speakers I've talked to who have used this strategy say that they might get 100, 200, 300 clicks, but if even 1 or 2 of those convert, they've not only made their money back, they've made a profit. And for example, our clients, they may have to spend sometimes $1,000 a month to get hundreds of clicks, but if even 10 of those convert, they're making an 8 to 10 times over profit. We have that conversation with our clients. It completely shifts the game for them because it's not like you're just dishing out money to Google, it's about getting a return on investment. The only way you can do that is if you're working with someone who knows what they're doing to get you to the top ad spots and not to the side where no one will click. Third way to appear on Google's page 1. We talked about organic, then we talked about paid. The third way to appear on Google's page 1, again this is not in your notes, citations. Citations. Now, Cody's a genius when it comes to citations. There's something called Barnacle SEO, and in case you didn't know, SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. So that's just getting your website to appear higher in the Google search results. Barnacle SEO says if you can create citations and attach your business, a consistent business listing to these particular listings, your business name will be attached to those. So because of their search engine optimization power, even if your website isn't dominating Google, you're going to appear higher because you're attached to the Yelp, the Facebook. You have a Google Plus. We're going to actually go into that in one second. Google My Business, Yahoo Local, and there's Kudzu, and there's Merchant Circle, and there's Localese, and you can see Super Pages, Hot Frog. We actually have a list for our clients of more than 50 industry-specific listings. So this can take a lot of time, but we get our clients up higher and higher, getting their results higher because we are consistently listing them, and not only the top one, but then we really go down the rabbit hole over a 6-month contract, and we get them to appear in Barn Plus. Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, sure. There's really like 90 citations out there, really quality ones like Super Pages, Yahoo Local, Hot Products. These are kind of the top ones. But it's really important to find the specific citations for your industry. So if you're a doctor, say, you want a citation would be like WebMD to get a mention from there linking back to your site. And even though you have that citation, it's really about the consistency. If your name is name X, and then you put name X on one of the citations, if you put name X, comma, dash, or add anything to your name, that'll mess it up. Google only can associate the citations if they're consistent. So the name, address, and phone number are consistent across all citations. And really what you're trying to do there is to get those citations. You can have those citations out there, and they'll work fine, but you can get them to work for you and actually build the ranking of your website so you can appear higher in search.
Yes, that's excellent. Yes, that's perfect. And a lot of these are aggregators. So if you look at like an Info Group USA or a Localese or even a superpages.com, these are aggregators. What do we mean by that? The Google has an algorithm that crawls the entire net, but they actually use some of these listing sites to make their life easier, to make their algorithmic updates easier, and they will go to these sites to help crawl meaning update to their database, all of the sites across the net. Yes, quick question?
What's a citation? What's
Cite-
an example of a citation?
Any mention of your business, that's not your website. That's on the internet.
Any
So,
mention
like,
of your business, that's what?
That's
Not
any
your
mention of your
website.
business that's on the internet. So like Yelp, even any social media platform, any really
So
any
your
website,
name.
any website mentioned.
Your name, your business name, your address. If you go to yelp.com, a lot of these you can create free profiles and mention your business name, your number. Some of them will be quick. Some of them for our clients might take me 5 minutes. Some take an hour. I don't have Kudzu on here, but it's Kudzu. That's an example of one where that might take me half an hour to an hour because they want this whole detailed information. But it's just AI, like Cody said, any listing of your business, any information that you're feeding to these social media sites or just listing sites and then feeding it back to Google. Now this is the perfect transition. Point number 4, remember how to get you to page 1 of Google Maps. This is incredibly powerful. Google My Business. So there's Google Plus. Think of as applied to your business, it's called Google My Business. So you can have a Google Plus profile. And you may think no one really uses Google Plus profile. And I used to think that too. Then we became a Google partner. We're talking with not just people who work at Google, the higher ups at Google of this billion-dollar organization who are saying that a lot of companies don't understand that putting a Google My Business citation is going to make you appear higher in the Google search results. So I just gave an example of Brian Tracy, a speaker I've heard in the past. And you can see that he has a business. It's the little red arrow that's pointing down, and that's his business location. He even has a picture as well, is a business address. You might be wondering, what if I don't have a business address? I don't either. I'll tell you the solution. Get a UPS address. If it's within your budget, if you can afford it, if it's within reason, get a UPS address. I go to one in Newtown, Connecticut, and pay like $20 a month. And when I have my marketing materials, I can actually put in a legitimate address, and they don't need to know that it's not my actual business address. It is appearing higher in Google. And remember, perception is reality, especially in marketing yourself. Perception is reality. So the key to remember here when I'm talking about Google My Business is that's going to get you higher to the search results. When Cody was building my website, he even had created me a virtual assistant, Meg. And there's an email, meg@jeffdespeaks.com. Now, I don't have a virtual assistant.
And really quick,
But I use that to market, yes.
Really quick, think about this box now that Brian Tracy has, because he set up his Google My Business properly. Instead of just having that little snippet along with all the other 10 snippets on the Google search page, he has this huge box over to the right now for his name. So it's branding. Someone mentioned that branding was important with digital marketing before. This is the key copy. It gets, because people are going to go to the search engines first with their intent to find your services before they even reach your website. So branding's important even on Google.
Right, you got it.
Is that paid?
No, this is not paid. This is actually a free, you can do a free Google My Business if you have, whether it be your actual business location, or in my case, I just use a UPS address, but clients perceive it to be my business location, and I don't tell my clients that I work, I just say I'm a full-time, so that it perceives, the perception goes through the roof. So, yes, Rick, I'll go come to you
So
in a second.
perception-wise, it's better to have a physical address like UPS versus a PO box? Or does that matter?
Preferably, I mean, they're both good, but PO box would be better than just a home address. So on the
Because I use a PO box. I have the PO box.
A PO box.
Yeah, but
they would know. They would be more apt to know that that's just the mailing address. It's
Yeah.
still good. It's better than just having your home address. You don't want groupies showing up to your.
but you're saying
home.
UPS actually gives you the physical address instead of a post office box number, so it looks more professional.
That's the thing. That's yeah. There's an actual
Good trick.
business, so that's a trick. The
Yeah.
PO is good, but that's one now.
Good
Yes,
tip,
you have
Jeff.
yeah. Quick question.
The image that's placed on there, is that something that you do, or is that something that Google, and so if you're doing a UPS box, is it gonna show the UPS facility?
No, you upload to your Google My Business pictures of your business. That's just a picture of his business. It's not
You
uploaded.
uploaded that.
Yeah.
So we would do that for our clients. We would either we would take them ourselves with our professional photographer who we have on staff, or they'll just send it to us and we'll upload it for them. Let's move on to the fifth way to appear on Google's page one. This is good because this is going to give us the perfect overview when we go into the tactics next of search engine optimization. Then we're going to dive right into web design and the overview with Cody. So the next way is something called a 3-pack. Google just did a recent update where they used to have a 7-pack. It used to be, yes, Beth knows, it used to be a 7-pack. 7 different, essentially, addresses or businesses or results of your search would come up. Now it's only 3. Now, for a professional speaker, they may not necessarily, or whether it be consultant or a coach or business owner, it may not always be in a 3-pack, but I definitely wanted to include this because if you are ever working in the future at any point with any kind of digital consultant, if you want anyone to help you, or if you're doing it yourself, they should know about this. You don't want someone, if you go to a digital consultant, so tell me, what do you know about a 3-pack? And they don't know, run away from that. Run away. So the 3-pack.
Yeah, this order, so this order is generated based off of your location. So Google's actually looking, if you have GPS enabled on your phone or your computer, they're actually looking at your location. If you're closer to, say if someone did the Google My Business properly for, is that Slalom Consulting?
Yes, Slalom Consulting.
Slalom Consulting, then they could potentially show up, if it's done right and their Google My Business, all their citations are better than their competitors, they can show up first in this list. Even though, say, with my location, I'm closer to K2, as K2 consultants, they can show up even higher than them, even though I'm closer to K2, because Google's seeing Slalom as a quality answer to someone's query, if that makes sense.
That's very powerful. It's very easy to get intimidated and say there's so many competitors out there, how could I ever appear higher than Google organic results? But if you have consistent listings, even if it's 5, 7, 10, Google will pick up, okay, this business is serious, they're legitimate, and then you might be able to jump to the mountaintop through a 3-pack, which is pretty cool. Final way to appear on Google's page 1 is, as you can see here, I didn't put any text at the top, but it's called localization or local SEO. Another way to describe it would be geographical targeting SEO. Now this is an extension of organic search, but it's its own point because, and this is going to tie perfectly when I go right into the SEO tactics next, when you are building a business online and you are pointing to where they are, you can actually dominate a particular niche, in geographically speaking, in particular geographical niche or area. Many of our clients will do it for where they're located, whether it be Houston or Chicago or Los Angeles or Boston. We have clients across the country will dominate for that location. One catch that I wanted to share before we move on here. For example, Cody built my website, jeffdspeaks.com. And my client base is sort of international. I have I've spoken in Eastern Europe, I've spoken in the Northeast here, and I'm looking to expand farther along into different places across the United States of America. So I wouldn't want local SEO in my tags, but it's something you want to know, because if you're struggling to get higher in the Google search results, if you have a good consultant, they can master your local SEO presence. I'm going to show you how next slide, but they can master your local SEO and build you up that way.
Yeah, it's really about if you have a local, it's like a brick and mortar location, then you're able to do local SEO. You can, make that market, that keyword market, a lot smaller. Say if you're a bike shop, you're not really targeting the keyword bike shop anymore, because you would be competing with all the bike shops in the country, in the world. You would be now competing, if you do it properly, you'd be competing with bike shops in East Windsor, bike shops in Hartford. The market's smaller, so you have a greater chance of getting higher.
Can you do dual marketing in that sense? So if you have a storefront, but you're trying to market nationally too?
Oh,
you
yeah,
have-
yeah.
So it's not one or the other, you can be marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
Locally
Yeah, you can have
and
a
nationally.
part on your website that's just for that one location, and you can keep, you really have to do it with maybe blog posts in that sense, keep it more universal with the blog posts, but you are gonna have a tougher time targeting the whole country versus just a smaller location. But if you're an online business, you need to be doing that. That's where more of the other tactics come into play with citations, getting on the industry-specific citations. More
Yes,
specific.
and what is this here? This is actually called the Google AdWords Keyword Planner tool. It's a free tool that will give you insights into what keywords should you use. What keywords do you use organically? What keywords should you use for paid search? Another great tool that's free, Majestic SEO. Write that one down. Majestic SEO is free and will give you competitor analysis. So the great thing is that, yes, do we have software? Well, we're a leading consultancy. We're a Google partner. We do have proprietary software. But you can be a consultant without having proprietary software. You can just use Majestic SEO, SEMrush, Google Keywords Planning tool to get insights into your business.
Yeah, so there's tools out there where you can learn from your competitors, and it's okay. It's business.
That's part
It
of the
doesn't
game.
have to be super ethical. You have to, you know what I mean? Just get the job done, whatever it is.
No, you guys are amazing. This is already going terrific. We're gonna go all the way to the next. If you have any more questions, please hold them. We a few minutes ago got the halfway mark from Bill. So we just want to make sure we give you all the insights and knowledge we have. Hold your questions to the end, and if you don't get in the end, we're around here to talk. Just want to make sure we finish what we have to say here today. Your questions are amazing, by the way. You guys are great. Let's dive right into it. After I'm done with this, I'm passing it off to Cody. On-page SEO is tactic number 1. On-page SEO, there are 4 main aspects of on-page SEO that every digital consultant should know, and you want to know as well, just for your own knowledge base. There are meta tags. Meta tags is that description underneath the website. You can see
Hey
the
Jeff,
text.
there's a little red button on the.
Thank you.
A laser pointer. A red button
Oh,
down.
perfect. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, now. Oh, okay.
Comedy show.
I just took down Cody. Anyone know web design in here? Yeah. So this is the meta description. Now this is actually, NSA is huge. I have made a lot of connections through NSA. Actually, I even met John Barber at NSA. That was a very fun meeting. Very great host. Thank you, John. And this is not optimized. There's no, where's the call to action? NSA is like, so that's a good description, but there's no call to action. Would you agree, Cody?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no call to action. So right there, we already see, look, and that it's great that they appear at the top. I mean, they probably have other aspects that get them higher, but that in terms of on-page SEO, there can be improvement. So there's meta tags. There are title tags. Title tags will come up here. This is here's the formula for a title tag: service, location, brand. I learned that from Cody. So that's the credit goes to Cody.
If you have a brick and mortar business.
Yeah, if you have a brick, and if you don't want to have location, like we were talking about, if you want to be international, such as a speaker like Bill or other people who have a national, international presence, you don't have to do location. You can just do your particular service that you have for that page, and then your brand, which is your company name. So there are variations to that. So there's meta tags, there are title tags, and then there are alt tags. Alt tags are pictures. You need to optimize the descriptions of your pictures on your website. Those need to be optimized with keywords, not keyword stuffing, not spamming, but you want to have 1 or 2, maybe 3 optimal keywords in the description of the alt tag on the back end in the HTML, who the expert web designer would know.
That's within context of the page. So just
Yeah.
don't try stuffing in the keywords that you want to apply for the whole site, that you're trying to target the whole site. If you're, say, like a bike shop, and you're on your mountain bikes category page, just use the mountain bikes keywords. It sounds simple, but a lot of times people get a little bit overzealous and try to target everything, all the keywords on one page, but it's okay to just target the mountain bikes keywords on the mountain bikes page, the road bikes on the road bikes page. Sorry for the
Yes.
basic analogy, but
And the final way would be header tags, and those are described in HTML language, H1, H2, H3. They should be in that order. So your biggest tag on your website should be in H1, then in H2, then in H3. And that's something that when we do workshops, we go into.
a little
deeper.
bit of
Yeah.
science to it, but also a little bit of creativity when it comes to, it's different for each campaign, each type of client.
And so you know, and you brought up a great point, clients get overzealous. They try to stuff everything into this title tag. I'll tell you the optimal length for a title tag is 50 to 60 characters. We have a snippet tool that allows us to know that. It's called SEO Mod. So it's a free tool where we can test, is this title tag within that limit? So that's that. And then there's actually, it's a very funny name. There's something called SEO Mofo. Which is very funny, and that will tell you
It's
optimal
good.
length for your description, and that should be 150 to 160 characters in length. So your meta description here should be 150 to 160 characters in length. Now, the next tactic in SEO, I don't even have a slide for it, this is the third tactic, but the next tactic is citations. Now, I'm just going to say this quickly because we already talked about it, but citations link down to online listings. So you have all citations across the web, and then you want to pick the top industry-specific 5 to 10 to have actual industry listing, online listings for your business, the Yelps. As you know, I mentioned the super pages, the Yahoo Local, the Yext, the Kudzu, those are the ones you want. Third tactic of SEO, link building, backlinks. Getting people to backlink. Now this is something where the industry has evolved. Remember I said, we're going to give you the strategies that are relevant today, not 5 years ago. When I was working in Budapest, Hungary 5 years ago, it was literally industry best practice to just create a link farm on the web. I got paid to do that. That was the best practice. That wasn't spam. Today, after Google Hummingbird, Panda, Penguin, updating it in Google Webmaster Tools, keyword research, they don't want you to create link farms. They want high quality, relevant backlinks. My suggestion to you on that is to get a friend to link to you. It's really relationships and network building. It's easier said than done. But I have a friend in Maryland, his name's Harvey Bailey, and we link to each other's sites. And I know he said he had a couple people who like my blog posts, and I have a couple. I just put a link up a couple weeks ago. Cody added it for me on the site, affiliate link. His business is called One Love, One Connection, One Us. He's a relationship coach. I'm looking to return the favor and drive business back to his site. Other aspect of point 3 is white papers. White papers. Now, there's something called an article, and there's something called publishing your own book. You know, Rick Woods has published his own book. Many of you guys have published your own book. And then there are articles which can be very powerful. Chloris helped me realize one of my dreams. Because of Chloris, my article is going to be published on Tiny Buddha, and it has a community of more than 2 million people, I believe. It's a very powerful story about something setback I experienced when I was younger. It's something I speak about when I'm on the platform of high schools. And that's now going to be because of a wonderful connection I made. So that's an example where you can improve your off-page SEO. Remember I mentioned on-page with all the tags, but off-page is in-person relationships can translate to the website. It doesn't have to be, oh, I'm only behind the screen and the real world is different. It's actually one and the same, and it can connect. White papers can be magazines, industry-specific publications. For example, Bill's an expert in parenting, so one example could be find an industry publication on parenting and write a white paper for them. It positions you as a thought leader. Very powerful. Very powerful to be a thought leader. Yeah,
One last thing on link building
Yeah.
is, just to sum it up, is to really form the business relationship first. So talk to other like businesses in your industry. Maybe that's a network of, if we go back to the bike shop example, maybe it's a network of like a bike shop, a biking blog. Have that biking blog linked back to you, because it's great to get those types of links where you're just getting anyone to link to your site. That means other people, Google sees that as other websites, other businesses trusting you for what you're saying. But if you get other industry specific links or websites linking back, that really boosts you up, because it's really, you're trying to rank higher for keywords. You guys are both targeting the same keywords. If Google can see that an authority in the space, a quality answer to someone's query in this space is linking back to you, that's that's what you're looking for. That one link will be more powerful than 10 just random links.
And the industry used to be spammy was okay, and it wasn't called spammy back then, but it was okay to have submit to different directories, and you can still do that if you're very careful, if it's a very legitimate directory, but you want to have.
So when you're looking for someone to do this, make sure that they're not. That is very important, because now Google will harm your search results.
Now, yes, exactly. Now, I'm gonna go over quickly the last 2 points here. I want to make sure Cody has time to share. His web design is going to tie in mobile marketing, digital strategy, and how these tactics I talked about, getting to page 1 of Google and optimizing your search engine optimization, how does that tie into the big picture? I gave you some tactics off the bat because I love it when speakers give good tactics off the bat, but we also want to make sure to look at the big picture. So Pingdom, site speed. You want your site speed to be between 2 to 3 seconds and between 500 to 700 kilobytes. We have a Pingdom tool for that. And then finally, you can look at behavior analysis. Yeah, I'm going quickly to make sure. You look at behavior analysis. We're certified in Google Analytics. You can look at the flow of behavior on your actual website. So that's a way for us to use analysis. How can we improve a client search engine optimization? We're both certified. We spent an entire week where our CEO approved it, where we just literally closed the doors, wrote on the whiteboard everything we know to man, and we had a Google expert on the YouTube. I actually ended up meeting him in person in San Diego, California. I was like, I watched all your YouTube videos and got certified. And he's like, thank you. So that was pretty cool. So we know, and this is only the tip of the iceberg. There's segmentation and there's filters and there are IPs, and we're in this daily.
We can answer any questions.
That's something we would do if we had like a day-long workshop with somebody. And that would be minimal. But, so now, moving on to Cody, we have about 10 minutes left, so you can take the floor, and then we'll just do a quick wrap up at the very end.
I'm just gonna breathe here for a moment.
Actually, this is only the tip of the
Yeah,
iceberg.
I know, that's a scary part.
Jeff, what was the name of that Google expert again?
What is the name of
Where the head is
The one that I met in California.
Yeah.
I have his email. It's on the tip of
What, Thomas Berry or?
No, he's the one who came in and spoke at our event. I can get it.
That's
to you.
fine, yeah, no rush.
I just go for like 8 minutes and then do a quick wrap up. That's right.
All right, so Jeff just talked about a lot of the tactics that bring people to your website. I'll talk about primarily keeping people on the website. Now, I have to do a little bit quick now, but because all of that stuff is extremely important. But the first things first, you guys need to make sure that you have a website that is able to capture all the types of consumers that are coming to your site. And that directly means having a website that's responsive. Responsive means that the website fluidly adapts to any device width that is out there. So that may be an iPhone, maybe a Kindle Fire, maybe an iPad, anything. And the key thing here is, sure, you can buy a template, you can go to a guy or a freelancer or an agency. Maybe they're just doing templates. That's one website that just fits. It just fits the screens. What's really important is to consider what the user wants at each stage. So say if the user's on their phone, user is your potential customer, definition. Say if a user is on a mobile phone, they search you, they get to your website. Do you think they really want to start reading a full paragraph, or they want to watch a video at that point? They want to get to maybe the information. If we're going back to the bike shop example, maybe it's a contact number, maybe it's an easy to use form, but it's really having the marketing target calls to action that bring them to more of snippet information, quick messages that make them provoke action, or maybe to finalize an action. And maybe to even bring them back and remind them that, hey, later on, I gotta check out this site. I shouldn't do it now, but let me sign up for the newsletter. That kind of thing. Get people to the stuff that makes action, and you gotta position it differently, it adapts differently, adapt the layout differently per device width. So kind of the fastest way that I can describe it. It's a case-by-case scenario most of the time. That gets really down to the core of designing for the user and not designing for preference. A lot of web agencies, consultants, freelancers, they'll say, I really like the look of this website. I feel like it's you. I really think this is your brand. All that stuff is really important, but they're not considering meeting your business goals at this point. I like to call it objective-oriented design. So the right way to do it, and look for this in someone, is to, before they even start building the site, before they even start giving you mock-up, before they even start talking like features and stuff, they should be talking to you directly about what you're trying to achieve. And that might seem simple, a lot of people can do that, but what you're trying to achieve per page on your site. So each page on your site should have a specific objective, and the design should meet those goals. Again, we're really just scratching the surface here. I'll show you a few examples of what I mean. So this is a physicians group that came to us, and they need to expand to all these different specialty groups. They were just pediatrics before. They wanted to become adult medicine. They wanted to go into OBGYN and like other specialists. So we decided to make those prominent across the homepage, and then link them to a separate site just for pediatrics, because that whole site now just targets pediatric keywords. That's just one example. This is how it fits across the screens. See how we move the phone number from the top right to very prominent positioning on the web or on the mobile web. This is a skincare line that I recently designed the website for, and this one's really important because their whole business is primarily online, and they don't have that local SEO opportunity because they don't have a physical location. So it was really crucial to consider the UI elements at this stage. So like what types of imagery, how are we going to get the look and feel across? But it's not just look and feel based on preference, it was based on marketing objectives. The mobile site. Maybe you guys heard of the war in New Haven between the pizza restaurants, Pepe's, Modern, and Sally's. I did the website design for Modern Pizza, and what do people want most from any type of restaurant site? Get to the menu, find the hours, and find the address, find out how to get there, find out how to contact. So I created a bar that travels across all page types, all different pages of the website, and just gets them, because I'll show you in a second. Let me just get straight to, this is a tool that you can use to not only, you can make it more, instead of just educating guesses with the design, you can target specifically, you can see how people are acting on the site. So I put this big button up, and say if every color on the screen, the more red it is, that's where people are clicking. It's called a heat map. The hotter an area is, that's where more clicks are happening. So it kind of proved the design, and you can implement this tool on your current website. It's called Hotjar. They have a free version. There's even screen recordings, so you can track people's mouse movements where they're actually reading and clicking on the site. It's incredibly useful. And I use it to prove a design or make a better assumption instead of just guessing. A lot of companies guessing, so make sure they use software. If you're looking to get your website done, redesigned, make sure that that company, consultancy, or freelancer is using a tool like this. Really quickly, we started talking about how to get people to the site. When it comes to a digital strategy, it's about incorporating all the digital channels. So that's getting the same messaging across Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. And it's not just about like signing up for, it's so easy nowadays to just fill out a form, sign up for one of these social media sites. If it doesn't work, if Pinterest doesn't work for you, don't use it, because it's just going to dilute your message. Instead, focus on not putting I'll go into a specific example here. Don't put your full post on Facebook, your full post on LinkedIn, but put just a snippet and a call to action to bring them back to your website. Because now you can get that post to start passively, it kind of works like passive income. It can start working for you. So now you have this other place where your information is, where you're targeting people, where you have likes, followers, people are viewing your site, they're sharing it with their friends. That
We
little
have
post.
about 2 minutes left now, so just go into your
I will, yeah.
final minute wrap up and I'll just do a quick wrap up.
And just, it's basically about opportunity in targeting the right channels. We can talk more after. And then Jeff with the.
Yes, thank you, perfect. This is excellent, and I always learn a lot from Cody. Oh, Mike, yes, well, we'll switch to Mike really quick. Just going into about a minute conclusion here to give you guys a take home. And while you'll see on your sheet, your handout, I put at the bottom, we already talked about Google AdWords, and we've already also talked about webmaster tools, where that's where an expert can monitor how Google is perceiving your site. 2 other things I want to quickly share with you. Facebook ads are incredibly powerful. They're cheap. They're very cheap. They're easy to create. You may not even necessarily have to hire an expert to do that for you. You could even do it yourself. Go to Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com, and you can pay someone $5 to create a Facebook ad for you. I remember Cody took a screenshot. I was promoting a book, Traveling Triumphs, The Improbable in Budapest and Beyond, and I got it very high on Amazon. It wasn't #1, but it was very high. He took a screenshot of it because of Facebook ads. I never would have had that exposure. And then YouTube advertising. I am certified in YouTube advertising. That got me from, I have 2 channels, one for professional speaking and one for sharing tips and insights on when I travel. Through YouTube advertising, I went from 20 subscribers to 120 with about $70 spent.
Wow.
So I was talking with Rick about that the other day. If I can budget out $50 to $100 a month, which is not too much, I might be able to get up to 1,000 subscribers within the next year, which is a pretty good start. Everyone has to start somewhere. No, that was from YouTube ads, YouTube ad, TrueView, InStream, InView, and that's a whole different discussion. And then Facebook ads are for the online presence, promoting a book, promoting your service, promoting a webinar. We're wrapping up here, 30 seconds. Remember the 2 main themes: understanding the knowledge you got from both myself and Cody, and then being able to weed out the real experts from the frauds so that you are working with the right people if you choose to ever do this again. It was an honor to speak to you guys. I hope you learned something and have a great day.
It's a huge topic, and put it in a small, short period of time is very difficult. We're going to reserve the mastermind at the end to ask these guys questions, because I know a lot of you have questions.
That's awesome.
And I think they did a good job of trying to tell us the information, but we need a little translation still on some things.
Well, you guys have a lot of business cards with you.
Yeah. All right, so we are just about 50 minutes behind, but I assure you we are getting out of here on time. That's why the last portion of the meeting is built as a cushion in case we take